my first film, everybody says that, and I've told this many a times, and I'm going to repeat myself here also. See, comparing Polladhavan to Bicycle Thieves is a disgrace to Bicycle Thieves. I've always told this. It's not inspired by Bicycle Thieves. It's what happened to my friend who lost his bike, who went in search of the bike, and whatever he experienced, he came and told me, and I thought this could be made into a film. And the day I thought that this could be made into a film, I knew that people are going to compare this to Bicycle Thieves, and I'm going to say this as the answer for that, and that's been going on. And of course, Aadukalam was inspired by Roots, Alex Haley's Roots, and when I saw Amaras Paras, I thought that okay, if they could make a film on dog fight that's there in their country, I can also make a film on the rooster fight that's there in our lifestyle. So that's how it started. With Visaaranai, when I read the book, I really thought that this has to be made into a film, and I was very, very particular that this film is made the way it deserves to be made, in the sense like I didn't want to intervene in any way to stop the organic growth of the film, like what it takes to make, or what would naturally lead to the next scene, or what would be the next scene from starting from here. So that's how I was looking at it. And my primary, I have always had it clear, my primary viewers are the people who speak my language, like, you know, the language in which the film is made. So this was meant for Tamil speaking viewers, and I also wanted to share this film with the world. That's how it started. My primary intention is not to make this film for the non-Tamil speaking viewers, because that film, especially that film, has too many layers for a non-native speaker to understand. Say for instance, whatever that happens in the walkie-talkie, there's a story that happens in the walkie-talkie conversation that does not translate as the subtitles. So you don't get to listen to it or read it as subtitles. So that particular layer is lost for a non-Tamil speaker. So when you speak the same language as the language that this film speaks, you get to, like, you know, understand those things on a subconscious level, whatever that's happening in the conversation that's happening on the walkie-talkie, that also complements for the development of the plot. So that way it's primarily meant for Tamil viewers, which can also connect to the international viewers. I look at myself as a person who's able to, or who's trying to bridge the world that does not speak Tamil and the films that we are making in Tamil, because there's a big market that could be explored in terms of festival, in terms of small releases, theatrical releases, small theatrical releases, as well as you have the digital platforms. And all the digital platform is now really hungry for content, and Tamil Nadu is one of the most we use internet in a very, if I could use the word, like, we are very prolific users of internet and social media, and so Tamil films or Tamil viewers are a major target for most of the digital platforms. So like any platform, they want to target Tamil viewers because their consumption is way higher than any other language speaking Indian state. So I look at myself as a person who is able to facilitate between the content that is here and the people who are looking out for content. You know, we have some films here that might not have a big theatrical run or even a theatrical. Sometimes there are films that don't even get to have a theatrical release. So these are films that could get into the digital platform or other festival circuit. So these are things that we are talking about, thinking about, and there are few good filmmakers who can make this happen, like, you know, bridge between the non-Tamil speaking world and the Tamil speaking films. So that's what I think we all are doing. I think it depends on the kind of content we choose to make. If something that needs all the song and dance and glitz and glamour, then I think we will. I would like to do justice to that content. So Visaaranai didn't ask for it, and Vada Chennai has not asked much also. So when another content asks for it, then I think we will have it. No, actually I wrote it in 2003, and we started the pre-production in 2011, and then we started shooting in 2016. Two things: I think I'm very lazy. Secondly, I let the story write itself. See, when you narrate a story to someone, you naturally start filling in the logical errors. So to make a story with less logical errors and with more plausibility, I think you just give that time for the script to evolve and come out of you on its own. It's like that. So I just don't push myself. Okay, I sit today, finish the structure of the film in like 10 days. Every time I try to do that, and then halfway through I decide, okay, this is not going the way I want it, let me stop. Then 2 days later, I will just sit down, jot down a few points, then forget it, start doing other stuff. Then 10 days later, I will get some 10 scenes from there, or 3 or 4 plot points. Okay, this will happen, this will happen, this will happen. I'll get a better graph. From there, I just I don't push myself or the story too hard to get itself completed. External influence is actually against it. Everybody, all my friends. See, for me, 11 years and I'm doing my 4th film, I'm happy with it. I'm not worried. But all my friends and well-wishers say that you're very slow, you need to make at least 1 film a year. See, that person has made 8 films, this person has made 7 films, 12 films, all the numbers they say. So, all my friends and well-wishers want me to make more films, but internally, I also want to make more films. See, I would really love to have had like 11 films by now or 12 films by now, but I'm not made that way. I cannot do it. Like, it's like வந்தா பண்ண மாட்டோமா வர மாட்டேது அதனால தான் ஸ்லோவாக பண்ணுறோம். இட்ஸ் லைக் தட். ஸோ it is not a conscious decision, but that's how it happens for me. I think whatever that I have learned about cinema, I've learned from him only. Watching a film will not teach you how to make a film. Reading a film book does not teach you how to make does not teach you how to compose a shot. So whatever I've learned from him. And of course he is, I could say that, technically, when it comes to filmmaking, there are only two people like who have had the craft, a holistic filmmaking craft in them, like the excellence of the film language as a craft has happened only to two people in Tamil cinema, and the first person was Balu Mahendra sir. So being with him has given me some amount of understanding of how he approaches cinema. Making a film as flawless as his films might not be possible for me because I'm a different kind of a person. As a person, I'm a different person, so I might not be able to do what he has done with his films. But whatever I've learned from him. Whatever I make out of my film career is what he has given me. That's it. It's basically the kind of trust Dhanush has on me, and as a writer, as a filmmaker. Because when I wanted to make Visaaranai, stopping Sudadi, which he was supposed to act, we shot 5 days, and then I said, Dhanush, I don't want to do this, I want to do something else. He said, okay sir, if you really feel that you want to do that, then you do it. And I said, 1 week later I met him and said, Dhanush, this is the idea, this is the story that I want to make. And he said, please don't tell the story. If I like the story, I'll want to act. You tell me how much money you need to make this film, I'll give you. So that's the kind of trust he has, and that's how Visaaranai was made. So even with Vada Chennai, that's what is happening. So and also I've seen him as a teenager, from there to what he is today. And he has seen me as an aspiring filmmaker, and from there we both have grown together, and the boundaries of a professional relationship and a personal relationship is no more there in our relationship. It's like it's become a personal relationship and a professional relationship. This personal relationship supports the professional relationship, and vice versa. This happens for us. And as an actor, as a writer, when I write a script, I write it for someone with my frame naturally. When my protagonist is obviously me, and physically my protagonist has my frame. If I have to write for another person, then I have to add more into the film. Like when I'm writing, having the protagonist as in a very simple situation, then it would be with my frame, my physical frame, and my physical ability and my physical inabilities. So Dhanush naturally fits into it. He naturally fits into it, and then when that falls into place, it's very easy for me to write. And Dhanush is someone who can just he can get into any situation that is given to him. Like you put him you put him in a North Madras lower middle class family, he just becomes part of it. You put him in Madurai and in a lower class situation, then he gels in there, he becomes that. As an actor, he has that strength, and with the years he has grown as an actor, and he's able to take up any challenge that comes in the script. And I don't need to really think of what my actor would be able to do or not do. Whatever I conceive, whatever I write will be done by my actor. Sometimes even physically very grueling things, like very challenging stuff, I know for sure that he will do it, whether even if at the cost, even if he has to undergo pain, he'll say, okay, I'll do it. And every time we start working, that would be the thing. I trust you, let's do it. That's how it starts. And I think that's what has helped us do whatever that we have done. I feel that I'm very excited to know what's behind every person. Like, you know, whenever we see, like, even like big films, like internationally, like the Hollywood blockbusters, there are sometimes certain scenes like that bothers you a lot, really a lot. Like take any films of the late 90s or 80s, there would be a chase happening, the villain would be taking the girl and going, this guy would be chasing behind. In the process of getting that girl, these two guys would have run over like some 50 shops, some, you know, banging over some 100 people just to get the girl. So I have always felt, see, those guys have a life, those guys have girlfriends, those guys have, those women have like families, but we don't think of the world as a whole. We only think of the world as a hero, heroine, you know, world. When you're writing for the films, that's what we are always thinking of. We'll have a hero, we'll have a name for the hero. We'll have a heroine, we'll have a hero name for that girl. Most of the times, you don't get to know what their friends are called. They will come and say, "Machan, nee vandu idha poi pannidavano, idha uttrakudadu." Then avanga life will revolve around motivating these the protagonists to fall in love or get married or do whatever that they want to do. So that is something that I've always not liked. And when you watch Kurosawa films, you don't get to see one character which does not have another dimension. Like another dimension in the sense, like, you know, you don't make these people plastic, like in the sense give only one dimension to them, just being the friend of the hero. Even most of the times in real life, I might be the protagonist of my love story, and in my love story, when there is a problem, then my friend would intervene. If someone is going to come and beat me up for meeting my girlfriend in their turf, so it would be my friend who comes and intervenes and say, "Don't do this, he's my friend." But then we end up making, I go to meet my girlfriend and then there is a problem, then I beat up the person. So it's always more of the protagonist being the I. So I want to make it as much as possible, try to give more space for the other characters to become real, like my friends, my family, or people who live next door to my house. Like, you know, they are not just people who just come there and stand and go. They have a life, they have a house, they have a family. So I would like to capture whatever that's possible in that sense. I wouldn't say conscious, but that's how I can connect with the character. If that is not there in a character, then I wouldn't be able to connect with that character, and I would somehow try to make something happen. Like, you make a character an antagonist, and he is someone who is going to kill or take away the happiness or whatever that the protagonist has. He still has a family. He could be anything to this man, but going back home, he would be a son, a husband, a father. All of those things are there. So if I don't get to see that, then I personally cannot connect with that character. See, it's a very what to say, unconsciously bad thing that's happening. I want to change it, but then see, I grew up in the times when having a girl in your life other than your mother and sister was not at all possible. Like, you know, growing up in small towns, like trying to meet a girl while you go for a tuition class or something, that is the only way you get to meet. Like, you see, don't meet, you see, and you don't get to talk to them, and all day you either are in the playground playing with the boys, or in the tea shop, or in the boys' school. All my age of learning life and growing up was shared with boys. So that's what is reflecting on an unconscious level. But I really want to make the characters, the girls in the film, more more contributing to the life that is depicted there. That has not been so far the case, but I want to change it. I really want to make things happen now. I'm working on one historical thing and one futuristic one. Both of them are I'm very excited about both. It's been a very taxing journey, that much we can say, for everybody. And I don't know what the film is going to look like. I really am not ready to comment on it yet.